have a special masterclass for you today. My name is Toru. I am a brand ambassador for Warrior Addict, and I'm super stoked to bring you this masterclass all about EKA PADA GALAVASANA, which is an arm balance called Flying Pigeon. So this pose is absolutely amazing. Once you get it, it takes a while, so don't expect yourself to get in there right away. But once you do, it feels honestly like you're a bird just balancing effortlessly on a branch. It feels so good. It requires a lot of flexibility, a lot of skill, a lot of strength, but you'll get there with practice. I highly recommend, if you can, to maybe do your own full yoga practice before this, just to really open up, get centered and grounded. We will go through some poses right now to get you ready for this, this pose, but if you can do an all-rounded practice so you're really feeling good in your body, that is extra bonus points. Okay, let's get right into it. So come to lie down on your back. Take your right leg, put it on top of the left thigh, so figure four position here. Hands come underneath to the back of the left leg, or even to the left shin. Make sure that right foot is really drawn in here, or flexed rather, so you draw the toes towards the shin. You can take that right arm and press against that inner right leg, and this will just allow you to open up a little bit more into that outer right hip. So for our EKA PADA GALAVASANA, you really need to have really open hips. So we're going to begin that process right here. A few more deep breaths. Hug that shin in, draw the elbows down, soften your shoulders. Release your hands, keep the figure four position though. Hands come to the side of your head. Inhale to find length, point your elbows up, draw your heel down, and then exhale, crawl, or rather curl your elbows towards your knee. Inhale to lengthen, and then exhale, squeeze in. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more, inhale, exhale, squeeze, hold, and then release. Cross that right, or left leg rather, over the right upper thigh. Interlace the hands behind the back of the leg or the shin. Come into that figure four or reclined pigeon pose. So with a lot of consciousness, really draw that left knee down towards the front of the mat. So you can really feel that outer hip open up. Even though we didn't come to so much of a pranayama breath practice at the beginning, it's really integral throughout all these movements, and especially when we're in the arm balance, to have a nice, smooth, rhythmic breath. So always come back to your deep inhale and exhale. Release your leg, hands beside your temple. On an inhale, lower that right heel to hover, and then exhale, curl, elbows towards knee. Inhale, exhale, curl in. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, squeeze, press your low back down. Inhale, exhale, curl it in. And then release. Take your hands back to your legs, rock and roll a few times, and then right up into an all fours position. In our all fours, it's really, really important for any sort of arm balance that you really get in to the wrists, because there's a lot of wrist flexion that happens in our arm balances, so we have to make sure we warm them up. So take your fingers, face back towards your knees, and then just begin to shift your hips back and forth. Come back so far that the heels of your hand can lift a little bit, and then come back forward. Just a slight rock, more up into those wrists, into your forearms. Nice. Release. You have a few wrist circles. Take the back of your hands down, Fingers draw into the center. Deep inhale here, and then exhale, lower your chest down. Inhale to fill back up. So we're going to get both a wrist benefit as well as a little bit of chaturanga action. So lower down, rise up. So your own pace here. Beautiful. Release, take your hands back, just on your knees here, or if you're feeling ready, you can come up onto your toes. We're going to take our 5 chaturangas, our 5 push-ups. So a deep inhale to fill you up and charge. Exhale, press off your toes, lower down. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. Hug those elbows into your side. Inhale up, 3 more. 3, 4, 5, awesome. Come back to a down dog for a second. Bend into your knees, gaze forward, hop or step even to the front. Rise up. At the top, place your weight into your left foot. Cross that right foot on top of that left thigh. So back to your figure 4 position here. Again, really make sure that right foot is flexed here as we draw up through the inner arch of that right foot. On an inhale, reach those arms long, and then exhale, hands come down to prayer as you take your sit bones back to figure 4 chair. We'll hold here for a moment. As you're here, see if you can take a little bit of the natural curvature out of the spine. So you can even take your hand to the back of your tailbone, press that down, and this will have the action to draw your navel up towards the back of your spine. On your next inhale, rise back, straighten that left leg, micro bend, and then exhale, lower. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Just hold here for another moment, and then inhale, rise, whoop. And then exhale, release. Whew. Give it a little shake. Whew. Okay, plant. So I'll come face towards you this time so you can see a little bit better. Plant your right foot this time across that left leg so you can really see that I'm drawing the outside of that left knee down towards the mat here. So inhale to find length, and then exhale to sit back. Again, suction that navel towards the back of your spine. You can even take our hands to prayer here. And then inhale, rise. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale. Exhale. One more, inhale. Exhale, sit back. So place your weight to all 4 corners of that foot. Take your sit bones back, keep that chest high. Strong and stable here. Then rise up. Woo. Give it a shake. Okay. Before we come into our galavasana, into our peak pose, our main focus of this practice, we're going to play into bakasana. So this isn't a full tutorial on bakasana. If you want to do that, we have another one of my Warrior Addict ambassador bros who's doing a tutorial on that, so make sure to go watch that one. But for now, let's do a little bit of work here. So really make sure you drag the fingers back here. So this will create a suction cup underneath your palms, and this is what we need in any sort of arm balance. So we'll wrap the triceps back as you hug your forearms together. Place your inner legs, or if you can, your knees really high up into your armpits. And then lean forward, suction your navel up towards the back of your spine. Maybe you lift one foot, maybe you lift both, and fly. breathe. See if you can stay here for 5 more breaths. You can also work those arms straight. Lower down. We come to a malasana for a second, just chill it out. Low squat. Do some wrist circles here. Shift side to side, maybe on your toes to open up a little bit further into those hips. Whew. Okay, we get to come into one of my absolute favorite arm balances. When I finally got this pose, I was so stoked. So just remember that this takes a while. This doesn't just come right away. It takes a while to get the full mechanics of what's going on. So I'm going to show you from the front view and from the side view with each leg, just so that you have some different angles to work with. So first of all, we'll plant into that left leg, figure 4 with the right. So come back into that chair position that we found before, but this time we want to take the back of our left arm and we want to place it by our right toes. And the real trick to this pose, actually I'll show you guys this way. The real trick is to make sure that those toes, they wrap around the back of that left tricep. This is the key. If your foot is floppy like this, you're never going to get this pose, ever. So you have to really make sure those toes, they almost curl behind that left leg, or that left arm, I should say. And we'll place the back of the right arm onto the right shin. So this might be where you start. You just lean forward and then you hover, right? So one of the main things too is this idea of leverage, right? So as the further you lean forward with the weight of your chest, it becomes easier for your hips and your leg to float. And it's really important here, let's come out for a moment, to make sure that we have that strong draw in of the elbows constantly in this pose. When you do that, it's going to allow you to draw up through your heart, so your heart almost draws up into your rib cage, and then you can feel this like spread, this roundedness through the upper back. And a lot of our strength comes from this. It's called a strong protraction. So again, with our right leg, let's come into it. To our figure 4. Place those hands across the shin. Find our fingers, elbows hug in. We hover here, and maybe this is where you're at. That's awesome. You can press the arm or the foot into the back of the arm, and you can maybe hover that left leg. And then release. Woo! If you got it, even if you got to the very, very first stage, the very first stage might be you're just here and you have your hands planted. If you're there and that's where you're at, good for you, that's awesome. If you've got maybe that back leg up but it's still bent, amazing. If you got the full extension, awesome. Just work on building it longer and longer holds. So we'll do the other side. I'll face towards the front just so that you can see the difference. So plant into that right foot, left leg, figure 4. Sit low, find that stable base, and then right back of your arm, those left toes this time, really curl it in. See that action? So that's floppy toes, and then curled engaged toes. Place it there, lean forward, look forward, and then extend that back leg. Come back down. So another really main point about this pose is that you have to have an aggressive press of the left leg in this case, but the leg into the back of the arms. If it's just kind of sitting there and hanging out, you're never going to get it. This is what held me back for so long. I just never got how you could extend that back leg. It took me forever, like even a couple years to learn. but it's because you have to have that strong, aggressive push of the leg that is crossed into your figure 4 against the back of your arms. So again, let's just take it one more time just to show you guys. And we'll do the opposite left leg. So hug it in, press that shin in, lean forward, hover that back foot, and then again press that leg against the back of the arms, and that other leg will float up effortlessly. Woo! Lower back down. Oh. So I hope you guys had as much fun as I did in exploring that pose. It's a very difficult one, so don't be hard on yourself if you're even at the very beginning stages. As you open up to more flexibility into your hips, as well as more strength into your arms, a lot of bent arm strength, you'll begin to get this pose. So rewatch this video more and more. Leave a comment on the video. I'll try to look at all the comments and answer your very specific questions about this pose. And yeah, just have fun with it. And eventually, you might too even look like a bird effortlessly balancing on a branch. Thank you guys so much for joining me to learn Galavasana. Namaste.